Well, hello there. This is Fibro Jedi and one of the team of Lotro family on Twitter. We do have a Facebook page as well, managed by a different member of the family. And hi from Hobbit Warden Lamuna. So, this will be a haphazard episode based around the Northern Barrow Downs. I'm not brave enough to go at level 19, nearly 20 into the Southern Barrow Downs. I picked up a few quests from near the Hunting Lodge in Bree, and we'll pick up a few more from this area here. Not many, because I don't want to be here for hours on end. But you can get to here either through the Old Forest or from the Southern Bree Fields. You can take the track up here. So, as I say, it'll be haphazard, aim being we're going to tick off hopefully a few deeds, probably trigger some other ones. Something to note if you're fairly new to Lotro is that in the actual barrows in Bree, so by that I mean inside the barrows here, so like the Barrow, Tarradon, Ringdoor, and this one is Oran. And there are others that you can pop into as well. The Wights and Spirits down there drop Cardland trinkets and Barrow treasure. Those are rep items, enable you to increase your reputation with the Men of Bree. But if you're not of the race of man, and possibly one other race, and I can't think what it is, you need to save 100 Barrow treasures, because once you hit Kindred with the Men of Bree, you can trade that 100 Barrow treasures for the Return to Bree skill. The race of men are not allowed to do it that way. You'll have to buy yours from the Lottery store, unless you're a hunter and can get the Guide to Bree instead of the Return to skill. Right. Okay. I haven't done anything since the last episode other than get some gear ready to equip once I hit level 20. But I remembered there was something I hadn't shared in the previous episode, and I noticed when I went to craft stuff, because my Hobbit Warden here is a woodworker, so making my own spear and javelin. Admittedly, these are currently level 15, but I don't have a level 18 or 20 recipe yet. Hoping to fix that during this video, we'll see. But there are new things you can equip once you hit level 20, I discovered. So, woodworker, journeyman, warden carvings, here we go. So, as a woodworker you can create carvings, which I think are class items? Yes, class slot. And what these are just sort of like, they're almost like pocket items, but for wardens. And go into your class slot here. So in here, it'll go into this slot here rather than your pocket slot. And woodworkers can craft these. So, for example, the shield carving here adds 19 to your max morale and power and reduces the power cost by 3%. Admittedly, not a lot, but anything is better than nothing. Of shield gambits, or you can go for spear gambit power cost reduction. Notice it's actual gambit power cost, not gambit builders, so I may have actually crafted the wrong one, because I think most of my actual gambits that I carry out... Oh no, maybe it's a combination of both. So I've carved a shield one, because I'm a defensive warden. Right, okay, so let's grab... I'm not going to do Bob the Hobbit there, Bob the Hobbit, great. Because I think you end up picking up...
Stay.
Yeah, Laelia, of the famed Laelia's Market, I believe. And I don't like escort quests, unless I'm forced to do them. Right, so, I'm not doing digging in the dirt, but I do want to pick up this one, for example.
Could I speak with you a moment?
So we're going to go explore the Northern Barrow Downs now, and level up to 20, and see what happens at that point. So, I lived a long time here in Breeland, but in my long life I've never taken time to learn the land's history. Now, near the end of my days, I found I wanted to know what came before. I joined this trip to the Barrow Downs with the hopes of finding some keepsakes, or take some rubbings, but it seems the Barrow Downs had design of their own. I remember tromping over the hills as a lad and seeing that some of the barrows had fallen into a ruin. I remember lots of broken stones covered in rune letters littering the ground, especially near the Dead Spire. I wanted a few of those stones for my own. Are you interested in bringing me, say, 3 of the stone fragments from near the Dead Spire? Perhaps we can both learn a bit of history. What do we have from this one? Calming the Wake.
Would you do
Yes.
something for me?
The constables warned us of reports of evil swelling and pouring out of the Barrow Downs. It appears we should have listened. Here we are now, holed up in this hollow, with a foreboding forest at our west and unknown terrors at our east. Perhaps it's fortune that brings you here. We're in dire need of aid, and it seems that your arrival is providence. It seems that the passage of some shadow has stirred this land and surrounded it in evil. We have set ourselves here, but while here it would be good to help the folk of Bree. Please, if you would, hunt down the fiendish wights dwelling now in the Barrows. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. And as we'll pick up those as we quest anyway. Howls that shake the spirit.
Might I take a moment of your time?
In all my years of headed into these haunted lands, never have seen anything like it. You must trust me, friend. I would never have taken folk into the Barrow Downs had I known what walked here now. We shielded them as best we could, but the fright is still too much to ignore. It's the howling of the Barakests. It'll drive us mad if we cannot quell it. Could you help us kill these beasts, these terrors, so that we might have some rest to regain our strength for the return to Bree? Yes, we will. Right, okay. That's all I'm going to pick up, because otherwise we'll have too many in our quests tracker. So these quests here are not repeatable. However, if you're looking for repeatables, here, Dead Man's Perch, I believe. Yes, Dead Man's Perch is around here. There are some repeatable bounty-esque quests if you're looking for extra reputation. But if you do enough in the Barrows, then you'll get your max rep with the Men of Bree anyway. And if you don't fancy staying in the Barrows, then the early part of the North Downs has Men of Bree rep in it as well. Okay. Rightio. So, I'm hoping this isn't going to be too dark. I waited for daylight, and now I don't recognise the path that I'm in. Okay, we need to go to the Dead Spire is around here, but we have quests nearby first. So, what do we have? We are on the yellow one here, which is gathering shards. Barrow shards come from where? This is the one out of Bree. Do we have to actually go into the Barrow? Yes, that's looking like we do. And also by fighting wights, you get the Journal of Cardolan deed. Thinking a lot out loud at the moment. The Law of the Cardolan Prince, that's the one. Although I find most of those pages fall from inside Barrows rather than, excuse me, the wights outside. I don't know why that's the case, but it just seems to be. Oh, and those pages, if you do get them, come into your pending loot, so do check that occasionally so it's not being filled up with duplicate items. Do you know what I haven't done Gambit-wise? Is that there is a chain that starts with War Chant, and it's because I keep getting this the wrong way round to do War Chant. So, if I remember correctly, right, so we need some shards. Now, I can't remember how you get them exactly, but from somewhere inside these barrows. Ah, yes, you just need to get them from the wights in the barrows. Okay, we can deal with that. It's because I do this the other way around. So to get War Chant, you have to do Taunt, then Shield. That's it. And I think there is actually a apparently a chain. We haven't collected any shards yet, have we? Oh, we've got one of the shards. Whoopee! Okay. I'm being attacked by so many hands. Healing. Oops, I just reset the Gambit panel by accident. When I want to do it, I don't manage it. Right, now in here we've got grave rubbings as well. Gathering the ancient texts. And we've managed to get 4 of the shards I'm trying to gather in here. Right. I had to say the Barrow Downs is not exactly my most enjoyable of places to be. But it is, assuming you don't come across billions of people trying to... Oh, whoopee, a spider. Deed in these barrows, which does happen. And I'm getting myself caught, there we go. Sorry about that. One of the easiest way of getting your Bree rep, so I very often do it just for that. You'll find as we progress through that of all things I hate in games generally, it's the overabundance of dead things, or things that should be dead, more accurately. So we'll have the same nervous FJ, because I do get rather nervous in these places when it comes to not Agamara, Haragmar in the Lonelands. Now, I know I can survive against groups of mobs, but groups of mods, I probably shouldn't. But I do tend to find I get very brain foggy and forget what it is I'm trying to do. Yeah. Anyway, I think I said at the start of this series, not all of them would be totally commentated as such. I think that's going to be sort of part of my rotation for heftier mobs, is to go for the health draining and then put a healing one in and then take the rest as it comes and just watch up here when my healing gambits need putting back in again. Wow, the aggro distance is quite long when you're under-leveled. Quite far, as in they see you from a long way. Now we've nearly got all the shards. Now we completed one of the deeds here, which was to defeat 30 whites. And we've started now the White Slayer Advanced. Fab, okay. And a whopping 5 lottery points, but we won't complain. Now then, is there another ancient text? There is indeed. So how many of those have we now got? 3. Good, good. Right, so I said I was going to go for... not that. I said I was going to go for a healing one. Then the life draining one. And then I can sort of try and do damage. Yeah, you see, that didn't seem to drain as much life out of that one as what I had thought or hoped. Right, is that everything from this barrow? Yes, I have the barrow shards. Great, now I've just got to find my way out again. Okie doke. I say find my way out, what is actually true is find my way out. So I said I was going to go for drain life to fill me up, then go for healing, and then I can go for aggressiveness. Only I've done that the wrong way around for this spider because I didn't see it round the corner. Alright, where's the way out? This way, I think. But I'm going to aggro all this lot, aren't I? Right, so to take the advice from someone else, let's do the life drain on you. The life drain on you. Then phew. Still find it a bit intense, but we are still under leveled just, but we are. So what's going to do? Life drain. No, I had something in my gambit panel. Then heals. Yeah, okay. Now then, let's see, am I going to get attacked as soon as I come out here? Possibly. Oh wow, there's a bright mist. Okay, I've never seen it so bright when you come out of a barrow. Right, so we still need to do... The barrows, the whites in the barrow don't count towards this defeat whites in the northern barrow downs, apparently. So, I'm also on the lookout for journeyman. Here's the Cardinal Trinkets I was talking about, and here's the barrow treasures, which you can't use until level 20, but we will get there. I'm looking for Journeyman Woodworker because I haven't got any level 18 woodworking scrolls. Oops. Keep forgetting when I want to do that chain. I need to have a once I get out, somewhere vaguely safe, I need to have a look at that gambit again because I'm not sure I've quite got what... I'm not surrounded by red dots at the moment. When you do this gambit chain... This skill is most powerful when you've used Impressive Flourish and Maddening Strike in sequence. Yes. So it should heal you for 36 morale and then 36 again every 3 seconds for 6 seconds. So I think I've not done these in sequence before because I've not got it to do a great deal. I will attempt that on my next group of probably whites. We'll see. But this one you see says it's the first in the Warcry Gambit chain. Now I'm not sure I've seen a second in the Warcry Gambit chain, so I suspect we haven't got given that yet. Okay. Now then, the Gathering Ancient Texts, we now need to go into other barrows. I'd like to avoid rats. There is a quest somewhere about defeating 20 rats, etc. And crawlers, I think, as well. Right, so let's clear off some of these whites that are outside, because we need to. Okay, just one of them. Let's go in. So this is the Barrow of Taradon. Now in here are usually spiders, but it is a deed, so you can find it empty temporarily sometimes. No such... I just got there before the spawn time, go figure, right. So there's a deed called Brood Hunter, which we just triggered in. We triggered in the other Barrow for killing spiders in the Barrow of Taradon. It's a normal Slayer deed in that you still need 30 for it in Breland. I always feel like you get, since doing so many of the later regions, it makes deeds feel quite quick in comparison. Right. When you've got ones where you get 100 for level 1 and 200 for level 2 in later regions. Oh yay, 2 spiders, right, in which case I am going to do the drain on both. I probably should have tried to practice the chain against this lot, but that would involve having some sort of memory, wouldn't it? So against that foe, I was able to get to stage 2 of the chain, but I'm not sure at what point the chain counts as having been broken. That's something I could use looking at. Why am I in the Barrow of Taradon? Oh, I'm still gathering ancient texts. Right, okay. Journal of Cardlan. Yay, that's low. I think we've only got 2 pages left to get for that now then. Still no... Right. Shield, taunt, flare, shield, taunt, shield, that one, and then shield, taunt, shield, taunt, shield, conviction. Oh well, they suddenly fell from having quite a bit of health to not. I also lost 15-20%. Wow. Not used to those spiders seeing me from that kind of distance. I still think it's wise to start these things with a healing gambit at least. I'm just going to clear some of these spiders because, well, why not? I did say this was going to be a more haphazard one, didn't I? Yes. But I hate spiders and the undead. And this is wonderfully both of those things. I know the spiders are only going to get worse. Kill my life. Right. How many more do we need for stage 1? Oh, quite a lot. Whoa, my life. Considering we did the Great Barrow instance 2 levels under, and now we're 1 level under at least for... I have no idea what gambit I just triggered there. Well, I recognise it, but I have no idea what its effect is anymore. Like that one. 2 taunts. I would have a look, but I'm only going to get attacked. When in doubt, step on the dead thing. It might possibly die for a while. You don't get a lot... Oh, there's a little bit of healing in there. It recovered me at least. Okay. Oh, I've done that gambit the wrong way round. I swear my brain just sort of turns off when I'm surrounded by too many things. Right. Life drain. Not that it's strictly needed at this point. There's that wonderful gambit. It didn't need the 3rd one in here. I was just button mashing. And probably shouldn't have. Well, no, definitely shouldn't have. Has quite a decent effect if you got critical rating as well. Bit pointless doing that gambit as the last one because there's no life to drain away. Only learn by messing up, right? Okay, let's get out of... No, that's not the way out. Let's get out of this barrow and get into somewhere else, just to give this video some essence of variety. Oh, I broke the chain. Step on the spider. Right. Yay, we hit level 20. Whoopee. I'd like to see the enemy I'm fighting through the snow tree, please. And now I am button mashing because I can't see where I'm going or why. Okay, stop spazzing out for a bit. Right, what have we got here? Ah, good. Shake off control. Just pop that in my normal slots, which in this case is the equal sign. I put the same shake off control from any class, and in fact any game, to the same key, so I can just leap for it. Okay. I'm still attempting, albeit with limited success, to get out of this barrow. Oh! Haha! I totally didn't spot that. And I have just totally mucked up my gambit panel now. Ah! I'll scream as much as her now. Did I get that in? Yes, I get a tier 1 healing. Right, I'm trying to get out, believe it or not. Right. Oh, FJ! Right. Get your act together. I'll eventually get this entire... I've got the chain right a couple of times. That second level seems to have a big effect, actually. Oh, I still can't just get out, of course. That would be expecting far too much. Right, so I think we might still be in the chain. Yes, we are. I thought I'd done enough to drain that one, but it's dealing me damage because it had 7 health left and it wasn't being drained anymore. That's something I've got to watch, because I've not been taking good care of. I'm getting my fingers muddled up. Right. Let's get out! Run! Okay. Now then, on the assumption I don't just get hounded straight away. What did we complete? Oh, yes. An auto-completed deed. Because we're level 20, so we can now go to skirmishes. Right. Anything interesting in here? Keep the borrowed treasure. Any more Cardland trinkets? Yes. Still no scrolls for me. Right, and I can equip most of the gear I crafted for myself. There we go, still looks as inelegant as always. Right, so we're looking for whites, of course, but I don't want to go in the same... I spotted that player. I don't want to go the same way as another player, because in the barrows that can get exceedingly annoying. Right. We are now a level over some of the mobs. There we go, that's the first time for a bit. Ah, we're triggering some class deeds now. Strike with Warcry. 500 times! That might take us a few videos. Block attacks. Well, that it happens when it happens. Strike with defensive strike. We have to do that on purpose though, because that's a gambit. Block attacks can't be incremented anymore. Deft strike I've not done because I don't. Skillful blocking and find weakness is tier 3 1 of 3. We haven't even found what find weakness is. Skillful blocking we can't control other than improve block rating, which you can do if you increase might as a warden. Agility is your main stat, but might will help with your block rating, which might be worth considering, even though it's an agility... Ah, did I not get one of the... go to one of the other barrows. Agility is your main stat as a warden. Same as a hunter, I think. Is that right? I'm saying it out loud. Yes. Agility and vitality. But I'm a blue line warden, so being able to defend yourself matters. I'm going to have to purposefully choose to do that Death Strike. So it might be handy to improve your might stats. That's a non-informed guesswork kind of piece of advice. But I'm kind of more erring on being a DPS. DPS with some defense rather than being pure tanks, a pure tank warden, on the basis that I'm mostly solo questing. So I don't want to make life hard for myself and have really, really long fights if they are in fact avoidable, if that makes sense to anybody. Right, we've nearly done the 11 out of 12 there for that quest. So we've done... I've completed 2 of the quests that are in here at the moment. We still need to go to the Dead Spire, but we're gradually working our way south, so that'll work out. So I still want to get some rubbings. Now then, in theory this one's easy, but you do have these disgusting Kergrims. Kergrim Barrow Crawler. So what do you do? Oh, I just crawl around graves of people. Some of them are still dead, some of them are wandering around, kind of thing, you know. Just your average job. Right, so here's the grave rubbing thing. What do we got here? A new deed bestowed. Strike with precise blow, which I think is the correct name for the one that I always call the life draining one. It's in Gambits. Nope. No, that's the one I accidentally trigger. It's the opposite of the life draining one. It just deals light damage. I keep thinking this is like a mouth with the tongue hanging out of it, but it's actually a fist. Probably should put my glasses on sometimes. Now then, we haven't gained tons and tons of abilities, and I'm not seeing new gambits in here for level 20, so thank goodness for that. Right. Okay, and we need to do one more grave rubbing. And we're still looking for Barghests. With your class deeds, you do have to, it seems to be, really intentional if a certain ability is not... Oh, how did I do to aggro you there? If a certain ability for any class is not part of your normal rotation, but you want to be able to get towards getting your extra trait points, then you have to be really intentional about using those abilities to, for example, to use that and that to trigger Deft Strike. Oh, I don't know what this silenced is, or how it gets triggered. Right. If I look at those class ones again, so wary blocks, where is the one I'm looking for? Strike with Deft Strike. Yeah, is the two spear thrusts, you see, and I don't do that very often because I'm risk averse. So to go there, which although it does hit that much quicker, part of me says, but you're losing a little bit of health. Like a little bit is actually going to make that much difference. Right, so let's go into the next barrow for the grave rubbing and see how many rats we can aggro on the way in. Haha, none. Barrow of ring door. I'll just wait, because in the last barrow some things didn't spawn. There we go. This is one of those that is usually farmed by deeders or rep deeders, let's say. And I have done the same. Crumbs. Little bit intense. So there's supposedly a rubbing in here, and I have a feeling it's a long way into the barrow. So that's fine. I'll end up coming back here on my own accord anyway, because I can now also use Mathams because I'm level 20. There's level 5 of the Journal of Cardlan, which I think means I've only got one left to go. Half an hour before stuff starts expiring. Good, good. Ah! Getting my fingers caught. Because what I actually wanted to do was that one. I feel like I'm not faring very well against larger groups of mobs. So I need to have a look at a different point in time to see why my healing things aren't, why I'm not stacking enough heals. How long do these last? 10 minutes? Yeah, may as well. So I think what the last ancient text is really deep in the barrow. Oh great. Only I can't remember quite the route. Oh, there's one here. Okay, in which case I will come out of here for the purposes of this video. And I shall return of my own accord. Just wondering if we've got... I think the answer to that question is no. The last piece of the Journal of Cardlan. No. Okay, let's come out of this barrow for the purpose of this video then. Because we've now got the ancient texts. Although they get turned in at Bree, so... And still no woodworker scrolls, which is a little bit frustrating. I keep meaning to trigger Warcry and keep forgetting. I realize quite how much I think out loud during these videos. Right, so the last actual quest that we have here is Barghests, and currently just surrounded by rats. Ah, there's a Barghest. Good, good. Okay. So, it's bad when they get a wound in straight away, but thankfully we have a very quick cooldown cleanse. Barghest Slayer is also one of the deeds you want to be clearing while you're in. They're easier in the Northern Barrow Downs unless you're over leveled. I seem to have lag on abilities again today. FJ, none of these are Barghests. Right. Let's actually try and find some Barghests, else I will drive you all insane. Right, I need 6 more. Well, I need a lot more than that. I don't think I've done level 1 of Barghest Slayer yet. Barghest. Apparently I am near one. Yes, I am. Nope, still need 9 more. That's okay. By the time I get out again, I'll be fairly close to the first level of that. So for my own risk aversion, it seems that the shorter gambits are best used rather than attempting to do gambit chain. So when there is only one and it's fairly small. Oh yes, forgot this. This is the Dead Spire. If it's only a fairly small hit point foe, then going for my self-healing gambits or the drain one is fairly efficient, rather than attempting to do a chain and then rushing for another mob. The chain with the Wandering Shade here, by the way, is actually quite an interesting storyline. If you're in need of extra Bree reputation, then that's a good one to pick up, because there's a few quests in that chain. Right, I'm still after Barghests. That's a rat. You are also a rat. Pants. Right. Oh, to be a hunter. Right. This kind of quest is so much easier on a hunter. I need a Barghest. Ooh, I found a track of one. There's one. Yay. So much more running around. That's a rat. There's Barghest. We still need, what, 5? Ugh. I don't want to fight you, rat! As disgusting as it is. Right, that's a rat. That's a rat. I keep thinking in the barrows that I hear... Oh, I can hear a howl. It's a Barghest. It's not necessarily. It's just one of the ambient sounds. You'll probably notice a lack of certain ambient sounds in this area. I've used the filters system to filter out some of the sounds that genuinely creep me out in what I call dead areas. Areas where there are things that should be dead. Just as a matter of lore point, they're not the actual people who have come back to life. They are reanimated by the enemy, let's say. Right. We found us a Barghest, yes. Need 3 more now. Right, maybe if we make our way gradually up to where the quest givers are, we can encounter some. Else I'll spend ages just running around the least picturesque part of Breland. So trying to be intentional with the shorter 2 ability gambits to help towards class deeds. So using shield, this one here, defensive strike, which takes 2 shield bashes to trigger, and this one back away, and then deft strike there. And that's this is that wonderful attacking gambit. Great animation, love it. Because you know when you're fighting fighting for life or death, you know, making yourself look pretty is exactly what it's all about. Right, I'm not going to do the Lelia storyline here, but I have no problems in getting rid of the Barghest that's right near her. Oh, that's the only downside to that. Auto control of your direction in combat is you can sometimes accidentally trigger another combat sequence, or at least aggro another enemy. Right, I'm going too far north. I need to come south. And there we go. Right. Good job. I still don't have anything even closely... Oh, I got the... Yay! I got that page 28 just at the end of the video. Perfect. Right. Deed completed here. Ooh, 1 wisdom. Yay. Don't yet have a need for will. Although there was a point, what does will do for the warden? Resistance rating and tactical mitigation, which could be important later. Okay, let's turn in a couple of these quests then, and then I'll just go on my merry way. Cool.
How can I be of service?
I am not imitating that voice. Well done, you've helped us greatly, friend. Perhaps you could do a little more for us. How about not yet?
Greetings.
And this is the Barghest that we finally got done. Yes, I heard their howls turn to barks, then whimpers. You have done well. We will enjoy respite your actions have earned us. Oh. And we completed Breland Adventurer. Leaves the advanced. I need to go do some Breland quests of my own. Because next video will be us going into the Lonelands. Right, the Dead Spire.
How can I be of service?
What? Fell creatures attacked you as you tried to gather stones? I had not seen them. The guides kept us well shielded from whatever it was that that was attacking them. I'm glad you fared so well, friend. And I'm glad it wasn't me that went in there. Well, these runes reveal nothing new. Each stone gives a bit of an account of the man that was buried there. There's nothing to reveal why these terrible creatures have taken up in those barrows. This is quite a mystery. And was that the only other one? Yes, the rest are in Bree. So, there we go. I did say it'd be a bit haphazard, but it did give me a chance to try out some new things. Quick recap, because I only mentioned it in passing a couple of times in the previous video, is that although I'm mostly in and I'll show you, I might actually have a trait point to use, yeah. Although I'm mostly in the defensive determination tree here, that doesn't stop you from using recklessness gambits, so this power attack is actually really handy, even in as a defensive warden. So you've got power attack here, which is 1 strike, shield, spear thrust, 1 shield bash, and 1 taunt, and that gives you your roughly 75 to 93 whatever damage, and then extra damage every 4 seconds for 16 seconds. So it is a damage over time as well as an instantaneous deduction from health. I did manage to do the impressive flourish chain a couple of times, but I just got a little bit what's the right kind of word to use? Fretful in the middle of some of those combats, so I wasn't able to quite get my head around it. And I have tried now, I'm up against mobs of 3 or 4 to do the drain life from several of them, and then try to go in for the dots, the damage over times. And we also triggered some class ones in here, so strike with precise blow, which I've done all of 6 times, strike with war cry, which I've not, twice? 3 times, and then the rest, with blocking, you can only increase your probability of blocking, you can't choose. No, I'm going to block that, unfortunately. Right, okay, so that's a wraps for this. Next time we will be venturing into the Lonelands. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Please follow me on Fibro Jedi on Twitter, and especially Lotro Family as well. Look up Lotro Family on Facebook if you want to be part of a group and help share your own stuff or your own adventures there, if Facebook is your preferred social media platform. And I will see you next time round as we venture into the Lonelands. Look after yourselves. Take care. Bye.